works is very impractical. Whenever you take out a loan in real life, whether or not it's for a laptop or a car, you never over collateralize your loans. I.e., if you want to take out $1,000, you never put $1,500 down. This is prevalent without the DeFi space. Look at Aave, look at Compound. So the problem we're trying to solve, is this over-collateralization problem, this inefficiency problem which we found throughout the blockchain space. Why do we think this inefficiency exists? Well, we think it's fundamentally down to a lack of accountability. What stops people from running away in the blockchain space, i.e., why don't they just create a new wallet? Why don't they just immediately run away? You can never find these people due to anonymity. The way we attempt to solve this problem with Vouch.Finance is through social staking and reputation systems. How does this actually work? Well, the system is very simple. 4 steps. First, on our DApp, your friend will initiate a vouch. After that, our back-end system will underwrite your loan using on-chain credit scores, i.e. they will take the credit score of the voucher and the credit score of the vouchee and work out what fair terms are for the vouchee. Obviously, for example, if the voucher is a very high credit score and is very trustworthy, we'd expect that voucher to be worth more. So then the user is given the terms of these loans, having been vouched for, and most important, the last step, your friend will then deposit some collateral, i.e. if you're trying to take out a $1,000 loan and your friend has vouched you, they will deposit something like $300. Exactly what this collateralization ratio is depends on your credit score exactly. And from then on, your deal is finalized. Now, what actually happens if you try to run away? Well, number one, if you do simply run away, your friend obviously loses the collateral and you take a massive hit to both your reputation scores. But number two, if you do not run away, your friend actually receives a yield, i.e. they now have some incentive to stop you from running away. Now, we think this yield is especially important given that they're only putting some collateral down. So, for example, we think we can afford to give the friend like a 1 to 2% yield, which incentivizes them to stop you from running away. Let's go to the DApp itself to see how this actually works. It's split into 3 components: borrow, vouch, and earn. We'll start on the vouch tab in the middle here. We see here a very simple search form where you can very easily input any address. Having vouched for an address, the user can go to the borrow tab. So here I've hard-coded the user who has been vouched for, and once they've been vouched for, they can check whether or not they're eligible for a credit line, and then they can open a credit line here. Currently, the terms are not actually loading because this is all hard-coded. However, when I have proper Wi-Fi and connected to connected to an actual network, then this serves some components. And then, most importantly, again, we go on to the 4th step where the friend will deposit some collateral. And that is it. Once the friend has deposited some collateral, your credit line is open. So again, what happens if you default? Well, we can see here the 2 options. This is the vouch tab. This is what your friend sees. If you pay back your loan, your friend can withdraw the collateral and the yield, i.e. that 1 to 2%. If you do not pay back that loan, then simply you have defaulted on the loan and the collateral won't be paid. The final tab I'll show you is earn. So this is actually if you want to supply liquidity. Here we've given 2 credit lines. We've got the low yield and the high yield. Very simply, the high yield credit line is someone who has a very low credit score but has been vouched for by a credit-worthy user, and therefore you are rewarded with a higher annual percentage yield, and vice versa with the low yield credit line. This consists of people with a high on-chain macro score and therefore a lower yield. So the point of all of this, where does Spectral actually come in? Well, we think that's in, number 1, whether or not you need to be vouched for, so that's in this borrow tab. Number 2, once you've been vouched for, what your credit line is. Number 3, once you're in the vouch tab, who you can actually vouch for, how many vouchers you have, etc., etc. And then number 4, that affects the credit pools. So there we go. We think that Vouch.Finance is a very practical way of actually doing lending compared to the over-collateralized loans that we see in the current DeFi space, and Spectral is an integral part of this project. Thank you.